and welcome back to Beyond the Veil background information. We're doing a character profile, so it's a character from one of my stories, and this one is actually for a book I've got that's my first young adult one within the Veil universe, so it is a romance, but it's a young adult thing. It's a story that I'm publishing in on Amazon in December, and it's called The Weirdest Romance. I was thinking of having further parts to it, but it all depends. I'm not too sure about it, but anyway, like with all of my character profiles, I'll give you a quick quote from the character from whatever story they're in. I'll discuss a little bit, if I can, about the inspiration for the character or anything that it's related to, and then I'll just give you the character profile. So let's get into it. Okay, Ben Gray. Everything for Ben was supposedly going to happen when he was out of high school, and not when he was in it. He was a nice guy at school too, getting good grades, but that was not attractive, and the main reason was because he was supposed to be incorruptible, and well, in school where there were half-elves and half-demons, werewolves and lower-ranked and turned vampires, a unicorn was always to be friend-zoned. Quote from The Weirdest Romance. So just to explain, The Weirdest Romance is my first go at doing young adult fiction based in the Vale, and I'm hoping now it's edited and ready, I'll be publishing it around Christmas too. It's a really silly story with teenagers. Ben accidentally bumping off someone deemed as the scariest guy in school, a shapeshifter of some sort, and to his surprise he experiences the badump in his heart he reads in his comics as meaning that he is in love. So Ben, with the help of his friend Jack, not only tries to figure out if it's okay to feel this way, but also how to actually go about dating someone for the first time. The other is surprisingly accepting of this, and Ben gets lessons in a lot of things, and as a typical kid who wants to try and fix the world, he tries to fix the problems in his school to try and help the person he's in love with, which is probably the one point in the story I'm not too sure about myself. But anyway, name Ben Gray, position human with unicorn ancestry. Story featured in The Weirdest Romance. Role protagonist, gender male. Description, soft brown messy hair, light skin, a golden whorl on his forehead, the mark of unicorn blood. Short, 15-year-old, skinny, and very much a dorky looking figure. He looks like he'll eventually need to wear glasses and always tries to wear his uniform neatly, and has the same look of his father as a typical office man, so he is supposed to be like the generic, not nerdy, but not popular kid in school. I based him on a lot of the boys in high school I used to go with that I always used to end up looking after and sitting with, helping them with stuff. So, realm, the Veil. Abilities, incorruptible and good with money. Master, unclear. Personality, a bit ditzy and always wants to do the right thing. Definitely a little nerdy in liking topics that others don't tend to think of as that interesting or too difficult, but secretly loves debate. He has a very open mind and is eager to learn about the world, but is rather privileged and does tend to think very much that he can solve problems no matter his age. Relations, son of Mr. and Mrs. Gray, who are both also very boring and average sort of people. Best friend is called Jack, and who is much more excitable and open-minded with a real worldly feel about everything he says, even if it's rubbish. History. Basically, Ben's grown up a happy kid without too much bullying and doing good enough at school that generally there's nothing to worry about with him. He's the average person. The person I think most of us tended to be. When he hit puberty, his voice dropped a little, but generally he only had to deal with his parents panicking that he might make bad decisions because of his hormones. He even got into trouble for once looking at a website that had a lot of furry art. It wasn't dirty art, but it made his mother panic. But everything changed when one day he was walking to school and accidentally bumped off Aries Akira, supposedly the scariest person in school, and their friends Harry and Trash. They are shocked when they are not told off for bumping into them, but instead Ben finds himself feeling a sudden flush of attraction towards Aries, and is determined to understand what it is, how real it is, and whether it might be reciprocated. Final comments. I really like the story, but I will warn, it's my first foray into young adult fiction, so I had to try and make it work and not throw in too much drama into it as much as the more adult stuff, so kept it simple, a simple romance with a message in there. Ben is an airhead, but his heart is in the right place. But anyway, so that's going to be a story coming out in December. I will let you know, and I will give you a preview of it. I'll read a part of it when it comes out. It is only a short story as well, so it's most likely just going to be on Kindle, unless if you want to comment and tell me I should do it as a paperback as well. But yeah, I hope you will enjoy it, and thank you for listening.